And as ever, McCulloch always finds something a little bit special in the third and final round. It's taken him through 4 contests so far to victory. I don't think it's going to be enough for this one, but what a great Olympic Games Wayne McCulloch has had. There's a nasty-looking cut now underneath his left eye, and that really shows just how hard this man has been hitting. McCulloch can really take a good shot, and he's taken some good ones. But 40 seconds remaining. Wayne McCulloch will go home with a silver. Unless he's got one big punch. Well, they're really cheering him on, the Irish fans, no question about that. They've got right behind the Belfast man. Great right from McCulloch. Slightly open-handed, perhaps. Casamayor under pressure for the first time. But time ticking away from McCulloch. What a great third round he's produced. My goodness. A display of grit and determination and great boxing from McCulloch. The final 3 minutes that have produced the best of Wayne McCulloch. Casamayor knows, I'm quite sure, that he's got it.
A silver for Ireland, but they would go one better. The Dublin welterweight Michael Carruth had been a second-round loser in Seoul. In Barcelona, as he prepared for his quarter-final against Germany's Andreas Otto, he had a problem.
I injured my right hand in the first fight against the Samoan, and we were warming up for the fight, and I was doing the pads with my father, and I just done 1-2 simple combination, and the hand went about a half an hour before the fight, and there was panic stations. And we just got my hand and we put it down the side of a radiator, because if your hand is warm, you mightn't feel the pain as much. And about 40 seconds into the fight, I caught Andreas Otto with the best right hook I've ever thrown in my life, and he went on a little dance and the referee gave him a count. And then all of a sudden, from being so negative, I went to so positive, and I beat Andreas Otto, and I was the Olympic bronze medalist.
A semi-final victory over the Thai boxer Arkom Chenglai meant at least silver was guaranteed, but the Cuban world amateur champion Juan Hernandez stood in the way of gold.
And I remember in the dressing room the day of the final, and no matter where I turned, I was looking everywhere, and I could only see him. You know, like there could have been 50 boxers in the place, but all I could see was him. And I wasn't petrified about losing. I was in the way. If I was going to lose, I didn't want to be stopped. And then I said, well, I'm talking losing here. What am I talking losing about? I'm in the Olympic final. I knew I was scoring pretty good at the start of the second round, but then everything went away when I got that pull going. I said, I didn't know where. I said, am I 3 up or am I 3 down? Am I 6 up or 6 down? I lost all track of what the score was. So I came back to the corner, and the scoreboard came up again, and it was 8 each. And I says, I'm going to win this fight.
One final strong, pressurising minute could give Carruth and Ireland a gold medal. Now he's coped pretty well with a definite reach disadvantage, Michael Carruth. He's got inside the odd time, more than the odd time, and he's made contact. Well, the Irish really getting behind their man. What great support they've given Wayne McCulloch and now Michael Carruth. Freddie Teat lost in the final in 56 for Ireland at welterweight and lost on a split decision. Michael Carruth had a warning in the second, and that, one wonders, will it be the decisive factor in this contest? 8 points each going into the third and final round, and Carruth may just have done enough. He thinks he's got it. They certainly think he's got it. His dad, Austin, well, couldn't be prouder.
Winning the Olympics wasn't about money, it wasn't about endorsements or anything, it was about winning the Olympic gold medal. The thing I dreamed of when I put the gloves on when I was 7 years old in Greenhouse Boxing Club with my dad. They can take the memories and everything else, but they cannot take that gold medal.
At the first 2 boxing Olympics, all the gold medals went to home country competitors, American and British respectively. The ABA ran the London Games in 1908 at the Northampton Institute in Clerkenwell, now part of the City University. There were only 5 divisions. Harry Thomas won at bantamweight, Richard Gunn won the featherweight title at 37, still the oldest ever boxing gold medalist. Fred Grace won at lightweight, and the England and Essex cricket captain Johnny Douglas won the middleweight crown. His Australian opponent in the final had cause for complaint. The referee was Douglas's father. The heavyweight gold went to Albert Oldman. He boxed for less than a round to win it. The world, of course, was a larger place in those days. The foreign opposition was limited, and there was much concern about bias in the judging, as there has been down the years. Much later, in 1984, at the Los Angeles Games, 37 of the 38 decisions involving Americans went their way. In 1988, in Seoul, the Korean Park Si-hun got 5 decisions in his favour in a row, including the final against Roy Jones, now probably the world's best professional.
And Jones really putting the finishing touches to this now. He's well on top, totally confident.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is on point 3-2 in the blue corner.
Oh no. 3-2, they've given it to Park, and he doesn't deserve it. By no standards does he deserve it. An outrageous decision, in my opinion.
On the victory rostrum, Park had the good grace to lift Jones' arm, saluting the true better man. Seoul will also be remembered for the great sit-in by Byung Jong-il. It took 67 minutes before he could be persuaded from the ring after a decision went against him. He broke the sit-in record, previously held by another Korean, the mere 51 minutes set by Cho Dong-ki in 1964. A new electronic scoring system was introduced for the Barcelona Olympic Games. What actually happens is that every time a judge considers a punch has been delivered correctly, he presses the button. But it only records if all the judges are unanimous in that opinion. The scoring is made public during the contest, but controversy remains part of Olympic boxing, as it does for all sports where judging is involved. Now, of course, professional boxing took place in the last century without gloves, bare knuckle, but by the time the Olympics came round, gloves were used straight away in the 1904 Games. Head protectors only came in 80 years later for the Los Angeles Games, 1984. Their use continues to be somewhat controversial. They afford little protection in the way of concussive injury. They do afford some protection in terms of cut eyes, but some boxers will tell you that they cut off peripheral vision a little bit. You don't see the punch coming quite so quickly, and also, of course, they produce a rather larger target to hit. But they will be used for the Atlanta Games. In a month's time, new Olympic boxing heroes will emerge here in Atlanta. It remains a controversial sport. The intention of hitting an opponent to the head is too much for some, but thankfully the incidence of serious injury remains very small as far as Olympic boxers are concerned. But there's absolutely no doubt at all that some of the greatest heroes of the Olympics down the years have come from the ring.